So good morning, dear ones. And please excuse, we're having a few little technical difficulties, but hopefully this will help. And there will be no more of those spikes that we were hearing earlier. So today is the first of a two-part series that Temple Buddhist Center is putting together around our Earth Day celebrations. And so the talk title today, Welcome the Company of Trees, many of you might recall is from a Hal Borland quote. And the full quote is, "To know strength and to know patience, welcome the company of trees." I liked this quote so much more than the Evel Knievel quote, which was simply, "Tree." And I want to thank Jim McGraw, who is leading our Temple Green team, for all the work that he has done along with the Temple Green team over the past few weeks here to prepare Temple Buddhist Center for so many wonderful activities. There are 4 or 5 volunteer programs that are on our Facebook page and our website for park cleanup and stream cleanup, many of which have actually already filled up. But we're also connected with Earth Fest 21, and we're doing a tree giveaway. So I'll tell you more about that at the end of today. So today I want to talk about welcoming the company of trees. In 1980, in Japan, a huge movement got started and is carried forth even today. And this movement is known as Shinrin-yoku. Shinrin-yoku. Shinrin means forest, and yoku means bathing. And so this was born the movement of forest bathing. And they have discovered that this has become a very effective tool for overcoming the ill effects of a hectic life and a stressful work environment. So you see, most of human evolution has taken place in nature. Nature connection is intrinsic to our behavior and is inscribed into our genetic code. It is only the last 200 years or so that we have reduced to a great degree our interaction with the outdoors, with nature. Going back to nature can bring us to a heightened state of sensory awareness and a feeling of alert calm, and it is akin to a feeling of returning home and gives us spontaneous rise to peace and spaciousness. When you are immersed in a forest bath, especially for those new to meditation and mindfulness, it becomes a little easier to reach a peaceful state of mind by paying attention to our senses and moving in the forest mindfully. We can not only get all the benefits of meditation for our mind, but also boost our immunity and create good health for our bodies. And it's because we are guided by the greatest teacher of all, nature. I'd like to share this excerpt with you from a writing by Eckhart Tolle. We depend on nature not only for our physical survival, we also need nature to show us the way home, the way out of our prison, the way out of our minds. We get lost in doing, thinking, remembering, anticipating, lost in a maze of complexity and a world of problems. We have forgotten what rocks, plants, animals, and trees still know. We have forgotten how to just be. to be still, to be ourselves, to be where life is, here and now. Whenever you bring your attention to anything natural, anything that has become into existence without human intervention, you step out of the prison of conceptualized thinking and, to some extent, participate in the state of connectedness with being in which everything natural still exists. To bring your attention to a tree does not mean to think about it, but simply to perceive it, to hold it in your awareness. Something of its essence transmits itself to you. You can sense how still it is, and in doing so, the same stillness arises within you. You sense how deeply it rests in being, completely at one with what it is and where it is. In realizing this, you too come to a place of rest deep within yourself. I had the opportunity to go kayaking this week with a member of the Sangha. Just one of those spontaneous, impromptu things. I'm not sure if the guy who owned the pool minded or not, but no, I'm just kidding. We actually went out to one of the nearby parks in a beautiful lake. And in being out on this lake, surrounded by trees and animals, birds, there arose for me a vivid contrast between doing and being. And I was struck by the contrast, how all the busyness, the things to do, the calls to make, the lists to cross things off of, the places to go, all of these things simply fell to the ground like so many raindrops. And being struck by the contrast, the similarities were also highlighted. The cycles of the forest and the cycles of my breath. How natural all the surroundings were, and how natural I am. How natural we are. We are not separate from nature. We are nature. So, what are we to do with the awareness of the many contrasts and the many similarities? The answer is, be aware of the awareness. There is another step beyond the cultivation of the observer, and it is a deep knowing, a deep peace. You could even call it a faith that each moment and each experience is a visitor sent by nature for our soul's awakening. Life isn't happening to us, it's happening for us. And so returning to this idea of Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing, in the forest bathing practice, they cite 3 stages of the forest mind. The first stage is attention. Beginners and young children start with the simple activities which focus on objects in nature, to hold our attention and to slow us down. By directing and controlling our attention, we are training the mind to work with the directing of our thoughts and our feelings, to simply be aware of them by noticing our attention on them. And so the second stage of forest mind is awareness itself. Once we are able to reach a calmer state of mind, we can grow our awareness. In the depths of the forest, one can sense the cycle of transformations that all life goes through. Things that we were, things that we are yet to become. Noticing in the forest the things that we see but cannot hear, and noticing the things that we hear but cannot see. Just like a seed in the ground, like a child in the womb, growing our awareness is growing our connection to all life. Can you notice the expansion from object to a peripheral, panoramic understanding of all things within the forest, including yourself? And the third aspect of forest mind is insight. Our mind gets a much-deserved rest so that it can apply itself with renewed energy and come up with surprisingly creative solutions. It begins to ask the right questions rather than simply asking why or seeking answers. The forest provides the light to spark new insights and learning, which can give us a deeper understanding of life. It is the beginning of a journey into self-discovery. To create health and happiness, one needs to prioritize these things over materialistic or worldly pursuits and actively work towards achieving a balanced life, balancing work with play, balancing indoors with outdoors, balancing the wearing of shoes with the feeling of the dirt and the grass on your feet, balancing social life with solitude, balancing thinking with presence. And so this whole process of giving form to a beautiful life starts by listening to the state of your mind. After all, the state of your mind designs the state of your life. And so I invite you to play with me for a moment as we explore and experience what we will call now tree breathing. Breathing as a tree does. And so I invite you to close your eyes, to go within for a moment. And as we play together, I'm going to invite you to become aware of the breath. And as you breathe in, as you inhale, the breath doesn't just fill the lungs. You receive the breath, and as it moves through the body, it moves down in through the legs, down into the earth, as you grow thick, strong roots that ground you to the earth, that anchor you to the earth. And the in-breath moves through the body and down into the roots. And in this way gives to the earth in the same way that a tree would absorb light, rain, and bring these nutrients down into the tree, into the earth. And as you exhale, you bring these nutrients, this love, this warmth from your roots through the body and out into the universe, as if the branches were blossoming with so many leaves and flowers and sharing the fruit of your practice with the world. breathing in down into the roots, as if the body were simply a trunk. And it is your practice that grounds you to the earth. And as you exhale, exhale from the roots through the trunk of the body and out into the universe. And it is our gift. It is the fruit, the flowers of the tree. It is our gift of presence. It is our gift of love, compassion, joy, and peace, or equanimity. That is our gift to the world, to the universe. So let's take a few moments and just practice tree breathing. So I want to invite you to continue tree breathing as I share this poem by Karen Schrag. Soak up the sun. Affirm life's magic. Be graceful in the wind and stand tall after a storm. Feel refreshed after it rains and grow strong without notice. Be prepared for each season and provide shelter to strangers. Hang tough through a cold spell. Emerge renewed at the first signs of spring and stay deeply rooted while reaching for the sky. And be still long enough to hear your own leaves rustling.